going to tell us how a little research and a little planning can allow a family afford a vacation for a week for less than $500?
Less than $500.
All right.
And the key to this is to mark the area that you live in, and then take a 100-mile radius from that and plan all the activities you can within that. You have a fabulous vacation. You might even get that around $250.
Why the 100-mile radius?
Because you can do that in one day. You can travel out and you can come back. Yeah.
Oh,
so this is staying at home at night, because that cuts down the cost a great deal. But all of the exciting things that are around there. So what you have to do is take and mark on the map 100 miles, and then take a pencil and draw around that.
Okay.
That string is the equivalent of 100 miles?
Yep, that's 100 miles.
Now, you're doing a place in Tennessee. How did you choose that particular place?
Well, you know, it could be anywhere, like Muncie, Indiana, or Butte, Montana, or things like that. But I took and was blindfolded last week, and then just pointed my... That's right.
You really did.
I pointed my finger at the map, and it came out of Lafayette, Tennessee, which is on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. So we took Lafayette, went to Lafayette, found a lovely family, and we're doing a vacation for 1 week for $246.
And we found out that it's called Lafayette.
Yeah.
Yes.
We always thought it was Lafayette.
Not Lafayette.
Yeah,
so we
Lafayette.
sent Diane to Lafayette to meet Russell and Martha Brown and their two daughters, Mary and Nora. And here's how they all planned a vacation for four for less than $500.
Lafayette's a small rural town. We're situated up in the hills and valleys of northern Middle Tennessee. Nice, open people. We still got a country way of life, and yet we're close enough to our metropolitan areas that we can enjoy a taste of the big city if we want. I knew we had a lot of things to do up in here, but never realized how many until Diane came with all these packets.
Bill, man!
Hi, Diane.
What you can do in this area? Hey, look at this.
Let's see if we can
Stacks
find
of them.
something.
Lafayette is on the Kentucky border. After we marked our 100-mile radius, we could see that anywhere in central Tennessee and Kentucky was accessible by a one-day round-trip car ride.
Well, Nora is 3 and Mary is 4, and we haven't gone very many places. And we would like to have a vacation where we can do a lot of things and relax and keep them excited, not be too expensive and not too far from home.
Just a partial list of what's included in that 100-mile-from-home limit we've set for ourselves is Abraham Lincoln's birthplace and childhood home, Daniel Boone's grave, country music attractions in Nashville, too numerous to name, the world's only Corvette plant in Bowling Green, and many, many lakes and wildernesses to explore.
We've decided to do several things. First, I think we'll take 2 field trips, one here in the county and one out nearby to Nashville. Then we're going to have a theme day where we're going to stay here at home and do a lot of special things with the kids. And then finally, we're going to have 2 days of camping at Edgar Everett State Park, which is also nearby.
Complete week.
1 week. Now, you said it could be 500 or under.
Yeah,
so
this was $246.
$246?
Yes.
I can't believe
so,
that.
Let me tell you what we did, though. The first day was $67.50. We did a town tour, a dairy farm, and a horse farm. Okay, and then the second day, for $89, we went to Nashville, did the Andrew Jackson's home, the Parthenon, the Science Museum, a toy fair, and 2 meals out. The third day
how much was that?
That one was $89.
Okay.
The third day was $50. We did a theme where we went around the block, came back and thought that we were in the Mediterranean. We did activities, Olympics there, and then went out that night to a Greek meal. It was put on by a special person that who was Greek.
So you went to Greece for $50?
We went to Greece for $50.
Okay, not bad.
And the fourth and fifth day was $56. We had a wonderful, fabulous camp out, and we had a huge, huge meal we buried in the ground.
I bet you came in handy on that one.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Did you show them your battery trick?
I did.
You lit the fire?
Actually, I did it with those kids. Those kids were a little young.
Okay, well, you know, Ellen, you're talking about driving. These are all driving vacations.
Right.
And they have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old.
4-year-old.
Now, you've got to, I hope you came up with some
We did.
ways
We
to
came
keep
up with a lot of
those
tips
kids
we're going to
involved.
show you all week, but today we're going to show you some special tips that we did before we left with the kids. And you can put all the things that you find in these little holes. Even though Nora and Mary are very young, they can still participate in their vacation. Each of them is decorating an egg carton that will become their personal treasure box. By the end of their vacation, it will be filled with souvenirs.
And Daddy says, Mary, are you ready to help me too?
While the girls are busy making their treasure chest, Mom and Dad are preparing an audio tape for the car. They've chosen one of the children's favorite books and have changed the lead characters' names to Mary and Nora.
I am Mary, so I hold out my hands to show I am ready.
We can see Mommy baking in the kitchen. She waves to us and says, "Hello, busy bees."
Later in the week, we will use the same tape recorder for an audio scavenger hunt where the kids will collect the sounds of their vacation. Finally, Mary and Nora each get a disposable camera. You'll be surprised at the pictures a 3- and 4-year-old can take. Tomorrow we'll have some great road games to keep the kids occupied, but the Browns won't need them now. Their first field trip isn't 100 miles away, it's only 14 miles away.
Did I hear what you're going to do tomorrow?
That's right, we're going to a dairy farm.
Oh, my gosh.
14 miles away.
14 miles away.
Are the kids going to get to milk, or?
That's right. They had a great time. They were a little scared of the cows, but they had a wonderful time. But, you know, this can happen anywhere. The first thing you need to do is go to your local Chamber of Commerce and get a packet. Now, we took Montana because that's thinly populated, and look at the loads of things that we got in Montana from Montana.
So even though it's sparsely populated, you feel within a 100-mile radius, doesn't matter where you go, as long as you have a town in the middle of it.
Yeah, the other thing is I go to hotels, like my local hotels, and they have all those brochures. Well, you can take the brochures as well and find local places. Or you can go to the library or a bookstore. You can buy this book in the bookstore. It's a Farm and Ranch and Country Vacations. And what it does is take each state and it lists cheap ranch and farm vacations. You can go out and work on a ranch or show the kids how to do things. I mean, it's fabulous. It's got great vacation tips in here. And, you know, I was thinking about it and I thought, what about you?
Me?
Yeah, what about you?
Me?
Huh? She just got here. She's not ready for a vacation.
Well, we got to send her back to Kansas because we got a whole bunch of stuff from Kansas.
Look at this. You got this
I'll
from
bet
Kansas?
there's things in here that you haven't done.
My dad used to take us every year. I don't know. I've seen everything.
What's the most
Blue
bizarre thing
Hills,
you've seen?
The largest ball of twine.
That's in a town?
I'm not sure what town. You help me out, Kansas. Greensburg, I think. Or that's the deepest well.
The largest ball of twine.
The deepest well, and then there's the largest ball of,
Gosh, that must be
twine.
fun
Somebody
to
write
watch.
in and let me know where it is. But I've seen everything.
I've got one here I bet you haven't seen.
What?
Have you seen Dorothy's house?
No.
In Liberal, Kansas, you can actually go to Dorothy's house.
Oh,
Do you remember
that must be new. I don't know.
You put on the red shoes and twist them, and then maybe you just magically go to Dorothy's house.
We better... Time now to continue our series on how a family of 4 can take a week-long vacation for, get this, under $500. Back with us is our tour guide, Dian Thomas.
Hi, Diane.
Now, Diane, before we go into a recap of this vacation, let's set the record straight.
Important news here.
You asked Dana if she had been everywhere.
That's right.
And she said, in Kansas, of course I had, but she said, I bet you haven't.
Well, yeah, and then we talked about Liberal, Kansas, which is the home of Dorothy.
Dorothy was at
But
Oz.
I had said I had even been to the town that has the world's largest ball of twine.
Yes.
And I couldn't remember the town, and thank you, everybody who called in. I think half the town called in. It's Cocker City, Kansas. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
You'll never forget that, will you?
Did you all want to hear that? Did you want to know where that was? Okay.
Yeah,
you did. Yes, I did.
If you have something else big in your town that you'd like to tell us about, let us know.
That's right.
Yeah,
We'll talk
something
about
that
it.
Nobody else has. All
You
right,
bet.
let's talk about this family of 4 vacation for under $500.
Well, if you remember, what we did about 2 weeks ago is they blindfolded me, and I just pointed at the map of the United States. We came out with Tennessee. And here we are. We took a pencil and drew a circle 100 miles around Lafayette. No,
Lafayette.
Lafayette. I'll get that right by the end of the week. Lafayette.
Right.
And once we had that identified, we could see the day trips that we could take by going out and coming back within 100 miles. That's easy. Then we wrote to the Chamber of Commerce, the tour guides. You can also go to hotels if you're in a big city. They have all these tour guides. We brought all of these back and showed them to the family and let them go through them and show them to the kids, and then they picked out the things they wanted to do. So the first day they decided they wanted to go on a country trip, and so they picked out going to a farm. In fact, let's go and see what they
The family
did.
we were talking about are the Browns, right?
That's right,
Yeah.
the Browns.
Okay.
And by the way, we found them by writing to the Chamber of Commerce. And they said, we have a family. So there are tons of resources out there. All you have to do is ask. And so we're going to show you the vacation by asking them to go with us on a week's vacation. We're going to show you the first day.
All right, everybody, stay close, group. This is our first photo opportunity of the day. If you look back behind us here, we've got the beautiful Peddler's Ridge area of Macon County.
Day 1 of our shoestring vacation is a self-guided tour of the Browns' own Macon County, Tennessee.
We'll take a few shots before we go into the dairy farm here after a while.
Dad is playing tour guide, which makes the day more special for the kids. After Dad's walking tour of the town, the Browns spent the rest of the morning at a local dairy farm.
We discovered there's a real-life dairy farm only about 14 miles away from our house. We thought that would be natural for the kids. They get to go out, they get to see and maybe even actually touch a great big animal that they've never seen close up before.
Even though Mary and Nora are country girls, they have never seen cows being milked.
Well, he drinks so fast.
Can you do him?
Okay.
Can you hold it up? Oh my goodness, it's so heavy.
The cost at this stop? No dollars and no cents. After lunch, the family visited a Tennessee walking horse farm. People travel hundreds of miles to see these beautiful animals. For the Browns, it's just a 15-minute drive. The children even got a ride as much fun as any amusement park in a restored antique buggy. Again, the price is right, no charge.
The kids get to see a lot of things up close. We get to learn about our county and the things that are around us that we've never experienced before. Plus, the kids don't go car crazy riding around for hours at a time.
Okay, all right, we met the Brown family, and that was day one. I was just curious, give me an age that kids would probably enjoy this kind of a vacation.
I think anywhere below 8.
Below 8 years
Yeah.
of age.
But
All right.
then after that, you can go to museums
Sure,
and,
just
you know,
different
just
kinds of vacations.
Absolutely.
upgrade your...
You know, I
Day
wanted to
one,
share
what did it
you
cost?
what it cost. Okay, the dairy farm was 0.
Oh,
The what farm?
The what farm? Look at
They
that.
went to the dairy farm, it was 0.
The what is it,
No,
Diane?
that's his diary farm.
Oh. Well, you know, this must be the family.
This wasn't a spelling bee.
Okay, the horse farm was 0.
Is there a diary farm out there somewhere?
There must be, and that would be a fun adventure.
Yeah, for over 8.
That's right. The town tour also was 0. So
Yeah.
far, we haven't spent a thing. We've gone through half
And
of
a
the day.
man without any arms or legs.
Yeah.
No.
Lunch would be $15,
Okay.
and half a tank of gas was $7.50.
Yeah.
So you included everything.
Yeah,
We
she's
did,
got everything
and we
down
even
here.
included those cute little cameras. You know, 3 and 4. They don't
mean the
have
throwaway
cameras,
kind?
the little throwaway
Yeah.
cameras. We bought, I believe it was 5 of those for the 5 days, and they were $45.
Oh, because you used a
Wow.
camera per day,
Yep.
a roll of
And,
film
you
per
know,
day.
after they got through rolling them, they kept punching them, and they took dozens of pictures all day long, but they had
Yes,
the
that's just
total
one
of
day.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad, $67
No, not
and
at all.
50
The
cents.
camera's going to last the rest of the trip. Okay.
Oh, is that perfect?
Yeah, $67.50. Okay,
You know, after
day
they'd
2.
done the country, they decided that they wanted to go to a big city, and Nashville was 90 miles away, so that was a nice ride. So let's see what they did in Nashville.
And Nashville was by chance.
That's right. On Tuesday, the Browns decided to take the girls to Nashville, a 90-minute car trip each way. Now it's time to break out the car games. Earlier, Mom and Dad recorded one of the girls' favorite stories, changing the lead characters' names to Mary and Nora. It's a real attention holder.
The kitchen fence needs a new coat of paint, says Daddy. Nora brings the paintbrush. I spread newspaper.
We made up these travel bingo games for the kids by using pictures from magazines and travel guidebooks. Even real young children can mark off what they see as they travel. The Browns' itinerary started at the Hermitage, the home of Andrew Jackson. Admission is $7 for adults. Children are free. We opted to go first historical. We thought we'd visit the Hermitage, which is Andrew Jackson's home. Traveling into downtown Nashville, Dad gave another free car tour, stopping at famous public attractions like the city's recreation of the Greek Parthenon. In the afternoon, the kids enjoyed an antique toy museum.
There was a brochure for the toy museum, and at the ages of 3 and 4, it'll be a natural for the girls. They'll really enjoy it, and the price is terrific. It's $3 for adults, and the children get in free. Let's go.
Let's go. And finally, the family stopped at Nashville's Cumberland Science Museum.
It's only $3 for the kids, $4 for us, and that's our most expensive activity yet.
No car games were necessary for the ride home.
Boy, there was a lot of stuff there that I would have liked to have seen.
absolutely. They
I
did a
saw
lot.
Nashville, but I have not seen any of
That's
that.
right.
Let's go
And,
through the cost here.
All right.
Well, let's show you the cost. I do creative things, and that's why I'm a creative speller.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You can check the spelling, Gary. I'm going to give you the prices. Over
right.
here was the Parthenon. That was did not cost
Yes.
anything. We had the Jackson Museum. The kids got in free. The parents, it cost
Yeah,
$14.
$7 a piece.
The Toy Museum was $14 a piece. Souvenirs, $6. Lunch was $15.
Where are they eating for 15?
Yeah, really.
Well,
Huh?
you know, kids don't
Drive-through?
need that. Yeah, drive-through. $25. was for dinner.
For dinner.
And the Science Museum was 14. The gas was 15. We had a round trip to Nashville. The total of 103.
For that second day.
My
For the
God.
second
Okay,
day.
so now they've
All right.
been in the country.
They've been in the country.
The big
They've been in the big
cities.
cities.
Yeah.
So the third day, they decided to stay at home. So you have to be creative of what you can do at home. So one of the neat things you can do is, like, decide a country that you want to go to.
You develop a theme?
Develop a whole theme. So because they'd been to the Parthenon the day before, they decided that they would carry that through for their day at home. So they got a hold of brochures. You can go to libraries. You can get this. The other fun thing to do is find people in the community that live in these countries. Sometimes they'll come over and spend an evening with you. What they did was found a restaurateur who cooked Greek food. I mean, he's from Greece. So they went and made it possible for him to cook a special Greek meal. He doesn't have a Greek restaurant, but they asked him if he'd cook a special meal for them. So we're going to drive. They drove around the block, came back home, and planned all of the activities that they would do in Greece. So here we go around the block, and let us show you what they did in Greece.
I can just get my wife to do this.
On day 3, the Browns visited Greece in the comfort of their own home. They got up, drove around the block, and returned home to a make-believe exotic vacation locale.
For the theme day of our vacation, Martha and I and the kids chose the Mediterranean. The girls were obviously having a good time out in the Black Sea, while we enjoy the warm golden sun of southern Greece.
This is a low-cost getaway idea that involves themed food, music, activities, and costumes. And the only real expense of the day was a $25 Greek dinner at a local restaurant.
Lafayette doesn't have a lot of ethnic restaurants, but we were real lucky. In checking around, we found that one of our restaurant owners was originally from Greece. So what I did is I called and explained what we were trying to do with our special event day, and he agreed to prepare us a special ethnic meal, including Grecian spaghetti and a salad, and even baklava.
If I could just get my family to go for this.
You
Huh?
think Mary Ann would go around the block?
Go around the block.
Say,
and
honey,
come
we're going to
home.
Greece?
Sure, maybe. I don't know.
I
We'll see.
doubt it.
Okay, let's talk about the cost on that day. We did the brochures. They didn't
Yeah.
cost anything. The hats were $10.
Yeah.
The games were $10. Lunch was $5 because it was at home.
Whoa, oh, that's right.
And the
Okay.
Greek dinner that they had this man do special was $25. So altogether, that day was only $50.
Whoopee.
So we have a grand total of $220 for the
After
grand
3
total.
And we've been on
days?
3 days
That's
of vacation.
it.
Isn't
Gee,
that great?
We make it in under 500. What do
You're
you think?
right. You're right. Oh, I know we'll get it
Well,
under
what's
500.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're
And the
going
next?
camping, and what we're going to do is bury a dinner right down in the ground, leave it for 3 hours, come back, and the dinner is all ready.
You're showing your battery trick?
Yes, we'll show the battery
good.
trick.
All right.
And no dry ice.
Thank you.
No dry
Diane
ice,
Thomas.
but the battery trick.
Thank you.
Next first, as you might remember, this week we've been showing you how a family of 4 can take a week's vacation for less than $500. And we're way under budget, I might remind you. Back with more of her shoestring vacation ideas, here's Dian Thomas.
Hi, Diane. Okay, you might want to recap how we have gotten to this point.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, I was blindfolded, and I just took a map of the United States and pointed it, and I pointed at Lafayette, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so we took Lafayette and drew a 100-mile circle around there because we decided that that was how far that we could go within a day's time and come back and stay overnight, because that's one of the ways we could save money.
Yeah.
Pointing out that anywhere you live, there's wonderful things to do within a 100-mile circle, but you have to find them out. So we wrote to the Chamber of Commerce, to the tourist boards, and also the Chamber of Commerce helped us locate the wonderful Martha and Russell Brown family. And so we joined them for a 5-day vacation. The first day was in the country, the second day was in Nashville, in the big city, and the third day was on the beach in Greece, remember?
The around-the-block trip.
Around-the-block
Right.
trip. They came back home, stayed at their
I
home,
was thinking you ought to
and did Greece.
blindfold the kids when you do that. That might be fun.
Oh, that's right.
Go around the block, yeah.
And then go around the block and then
Okay, and
What's our
today?
grand total
Well,
so far?
The grand total is $220.50. So
Ooh,
we're
we
way
got money
under.
to burn
With
here.
2 days to go.
2 days to go, and we're going camping, and that's
All right.
one of the most inexpensive things that you can do, because, you know, you can rent a tent for under $15 up. You can rent a sleeping bag for $5 up, and if you don't have a sleeping bag, I'm going to even show you how to do that.
Okay, well, here we go. We're going to join the Browns as they top off their vacation with a little camping, Dian Thomas style. Where'd they go?
They went to Everett.
Edgar Evans
Yeah, Edgar
Park.
Evans, that's right.
That's right. State Park's about 40 miles from their hometown in Tennessee. Let's take a look.
Hi, Miss Diane. Hey, we made it.
Oh,
Let's get out, girl.
welcome.
There are several lakes and parks nearby. It seemed to be something that the kids are now old enough at 3 and 4 that they would enjoy. Getting back, they can enjoy the outdoors and just have a good time inexpensively.
Vacation should be a time to be adventurous. And I've got a new way of cooking for Dad and a great outdoor activity for the girls. Hi, Mary and Nora. I've got a neat project for you. You're going on a sound scavenger hunt. Instead of finding the objects, you get the sounds. And I've made a list for Mom, like water and boats and birds. Here's you the list.
Okay.
You want to take the tape recorder? And off you go.
Okay, let's
Get
go.
some neat
Come on,
sounds. You know, Russ, pit cooking is one of the neatest ways of cooking when you're out in the woods. The first thing you have to do is dig a great big hole in the ground because that's where we're going to cook in. So I usually try to think of what I'm going to cook. So I'm going to have 3 chickens here in the bottom and then enough space for all of the rocks. So you dig a great big hole. After you have the hole dug, then you find rocks. So we take the flat rocks, place those in there, and then build a fire. Once the rocks are all placed in there, I'm going to take and place wood on here and build this fire for about an hour and a half. We'll put wood all the way up to the top and just let it flames. Now, once it burns down, it'll just be ashes in a hot, hot bed. What we do is drive the heat into the rocks, and it's the heat that cooks the food. This is how we prepare the food, Russ. You take the husks of the corn, leave that right on the corn, and then wrap that up in a foil. I've oiled the potatoes, wrap those in foil.
All right.
Now, with the chicken, I put the barbecue sauce on here, place it on a piece of foil, and bring the foil up to the top, roll that down a small fold, flatten that out, and bring it in. That's called the drugstore wrap. Turn it over and do that once more, because we're going to double wrap the chicken because it will be on the bottom of the pit. We're all ready to put the food in the pit.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Russ, the next step is to take all of the coals out, and then we're ready to bury the food in there.
Okay.
This is kind of a hot job, but we'll take all the coals and put them here.
All right.
We'll place the 3 chickens right down here and put a few coals on top of those, and then just a little bit of dirt, and then put the potatoes that are wrapped in foil on top of that, a few more coals, and then the corn goes on the very top because it takes the least amount of time to cook. Then I put a little bit of newspaper over the top of it, just enough so that I know where the food is, then bury the whole thing with 6 inches of dirt, and then let it sit there for 3.5 hours. You know, Russ, the girls are going to want to see us dig up the pits for dinner, so I've prearranged with them to blow this blowhorn, and they'll come running.
Okay, let's see if we can get some sounds of this water on the tape recorder. Okay, here, Mary. Oh, the girls really enjoyed this sound scavenger hunt. And then it'll really be nice because they'll have this tape to keep as a souvenir of this segment of their vacation. Did you think it was fun, Mary?
Yes!
Hey, girls, come on in. What did you find?
Do you girls know where dinner is?
Mary, have any idea where dinner is?
In the hole.
That's right, Mary. Let's dig it up and see what we've got.
Girls, have y'all tried any of the corn?
You know, the fun thing is the chicken's so tender.
I can't see.
This is delicious. Wow.
Good.
Try that now.
Second.
No, nice.
Wow.
Good.
It is delicious.
That's a great way to spend your vacation.
Why don't you go ahead and eat some of your chicken right quick,
But
okay?
Daddy, I'm going to get my butter.
One more tip to make the girls' first night out feel safe and special. We've made a double bed out of their wading pool. Do you think they had a good time?
They've had a great week.
I think they're going to remember this for a long time.